Hi, my name is Bailey. I'm a IFR rated pilot, and today I'm going to teach you how to read the Jeppesen Taxi Charts. Starting off from the top, we have up here the ICAO code of the airport. For the Gold Coast is Yankee Bravo Charlie Golf. Next to it is the IATA code of Oscar Oscar Lima. We then have the airport elevation of 21 feet. Below that is just the coordinates. Then to the right we have the chart title, which is 10-9, which you can see over here under airport info 10-9. The effective date, the 15th of June, followed by the city, state and country with the city below. So it's the Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia, for the Gold Coast Airport. Below that we have the frequency table. So we have the ATIS available on 112.3. This is a VOR frequency, so it will be received through there when you ident it. We have 134.5 for the ATIS during tower hours. So right on that is 134.5 again for the AWIS when the tower's offline. Gold Coast delivery on 128.75 there. Gold Coast ground 121.8. Gold Coast tower 118.7. Next to that we have a CTAF with a aerodrome frequency response unit and pilot activating lighting connected on 118.7 when the tower's inoperative. We have Brisbane Centre 119.5, and it's important here to read this as sometimes it can say in circuit area or on the ground. We'll have a look at one of those examples further on. Looking down into the visual picture, we have information for noise abatement procedures, which is chart 10-4. We've got some more information regarding the holding points and taxiways and other relevant stuff there. We have here these two arrows which indicate a magnetic variation of 11 degrees east. Zooming into the top pile chart, we've got the runway identifier here, 14139. Same thing on the other end. 32 with a magnetic track of 319. We have it here 35 with 353 and 17 with 173. Up here we have the elevation at the start of this runway being 21 feet. We also have a windsock. Now there's two types of windsock little symbols. The one with the lines coming out, the three lines, indicates that it is lighted, and without those three lines indicates it is not lighted. If we continue down, we have the general aviation apron, which is indicated by an arrow pointing towards it here, which is all this area. Next to that we have the pavement concession for taxiway golf, which is along here. It's important to check these notes and then also double check where the little arrow points to. Next to that we have a little triangle with a H in the middle. That is a helipad. We have one there and one on this side of the airport. In there you'll see we also have a little pink purple square that indicates a hotspot. There can be multiple hotspots for multiple different parts of the airport. Gold Coast only has one, and that is shown down here. Down here we have the zoomed in section, which indicates there's guard lights, the holding points of each section. So you can see there's guard lights there, guard lights here, guard lights here, and guard lights here. And we have the different taxiways. Golf here, Charlie, Charlie, Bravo. And it doesn't have a taxiway here because this whole area within here is either runway 35 or 17. Next to that, you also see we have a little windsock diagram with the three lines indicating it is lighted. If we go back to here, keep going down, we have the control tower indicated by a little circle with a star in the middle. The aerodrome reference point indicated with this circle with the 4 slices within it. We have another windsock that is lit there. We also have the threshold elevation here of 17 feet for the beginning of runway 17. Continuing down, we have more taxiway markings. We've got Charlie here. We have Echo along here. Alpha along here. And you'll see surrounding that there is a little dotted segment which goes through here. This will usually, will be accompanied by 4 parking positions, see that. We will cover that a little bit later, but essentially it goes more into depth with where the bays are, and it should not be used to taxi. It is purely for parking positions. Looking a little bit further down, we have another note for aircraft taxiing on taxiway Alpha there. Below that we have indications of what this building is, being the International and Domestic Terminal 1. We have another note saying it is the RPT apron there. If we keep going down, we've got another lit windsock here, and we also have a little white bar here. This indicates that there is a displaced threshold, which is this part here, and you can continue landing from this part here. Below that we have taxiway Kilo, which is the holding point there, and holding point Charlie here. We've got another elevation point of 13 feet here. So if we look down here further, we have more information about the hotspot, which is this here. It will pretty much tell you the information surrounding that. And across here we've got more information about landing and vacating, which it's always important to read everything over the chart to make sure if it will affect you or if it won't. We've got the feet to meters table here, and changes down the bottom here, which you can see taxiway Bravo holding point added. Now, going back to the middle of the chart, we have the VOR here and NDB. These are indicated by little circles with a full dot coloured in the middle. This just indicates a nav aid, or the taxi charts. It's different for en route and approach charts. If we have a look, this is pretty much how to read and view the taxi chart. If we go into the taxi section, we have different things here. So if we continue to the parking stands, we can have a look at this. So in here, it's got the identifier of the chart up here, 10-9 Bravo. We've got the ICAO code, the IATA code, and all the relevant location information up there. We have a little pointer towards north, and through here we have which apron is what. So we have the remote apron, the GA apron, the RPT apron, and the terminal and whatnot here. Up here you can see there is the Golf 1 parking spot. We have 30 right, 30 left, and all the other RPT apron parking bays through here. We also have the hotspot here, and you just need to view chart 10-9 for more information with that. You can see there's taxiways on here. You do not want to use this to taxi, you just want to use the regular chart, because it does not indicate there's holding points here and all that other stuff. If we look a little bit down, we've got the coordinates for the parking bays here. If we go back out, we also have the airport information minimums for takeoff and alternate requirements for landing. If we work our way through here, obviously we have the chart, identifier, its effective date. We have here the additional runway information, which will provide lighting. So we have high intensity runway lighting, we've got medium, and all the different lighting requirements here. There's landing beyond glide slopes and thresholds. And the little takeoff here with the little 7 just indicates this here, the takeoff run available depending where you take off from at certain parts of the airport. And we have the width information here. If we work our way down, we've got the takeoff minimums here. So it's important here to check both vertically and horizontally here. So you can see for single engine, tower in op during the day, 300 feet and 2 kilometers visibility. And for 2, 3 and 4 engine, it changes between 550 meters, 800 and other. So for alternate requirements, we've got this on the other side of the page here. We've got one for actual aerodrome QNH, which is ATIS, and one for forecast, which is TAF, META, etc. We've got here for for category A and B aircraft, 1239 and 4.4. We have a little 2 here just to indicate another note to look at, and that may change your required alternate minima. So we can apply everything we've learnt here to a different airport. For example, if we go to Moorabbin, we can have a look at the taxi chart here. We can see we've got the ICAO code up the top, IATA, the effective date, all the frequencies are through here. With certain airports you have multiple tower frequencies, so just be sure to read the URSA or the ATIS, and it will let you know which tower to contact for which runway. We've got different cautions and warnings here which are important to read. There is lots of runway identifiers and magnetic headings up here. We've got taxiway indicators, control towers over here, there's NDB over here, and there's a hotspot here which is shown up the top here. So you can see it's a little bit different to the Gold Coast. We've got displaced thresholds indicated with these white lines here. There's quite a lot of them at Moorabbin. And then some wind shear and turbulence warnings down the bottom here. It's important to also check the changes just to see what they've updated between the different things. And like I was saying before, Moorabbin has one lit windsock here and one unlit windsock here. You can see the unlit windsock I'm putting in orange has no lines, and the lit windsock up here has the lines like the Gold Coast. So as we can see, we've had a quick look through that. If we want to do one more airport, we'll have a look at Perth. Perth is a good one because it has multiple little parking positions. As you can see here, we've got one here, 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 and here. And there's also information for a larger airport for the different ground frequencies, for example. So we've got west of 0321 is that frequency, and vice versa, which is also indicated down at the bottom here. So you have east and its requirements there, and west and its requirements here. With Perth, that the Gold Coast doesn't have, Perth has approach lighting. So we can see the type of approach lighting, which I've highlighted here. That one for runway 21 is obviously different to runway 24, which is also different to runway 03. And runway 06 does not have any. Otherwise it would be indicated there. So if we have a brief look at Perth, we can see we've got the code for Perth Yankee Papa Papa Hotel with the IATA code Papa Echo Romeo. We have an airport elevation of 67 feet, it's chart 10-9. Effective the 30th of November, we have the ATIS 113.7 on a nav 8. We have the ATIS available on 123.8, Perth delivery 118.55. Ground west of 0321 is 121.7, and to the east is 122.2, tower 127.4, and Perth departures 118.7. Along the side we have a lot of numbers here. These correspond with the numbers on the chart, which are here, 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 and you can see all the others littered around. So it's important to read them. We've got the little table down here if you need to convert that. We've got the runway distances here, which I forgot to mention before. We have a lit windsock here, a lit windsock here, a lit windsock here, and looks like 06 doesn't have one. We have a VOR here, control tower here. There is a little peak here, little triangle, just indicating that there is something pointing upwards. More than likely that would be the ILS equipment right there for the glide slope. And we've got the identifiers and everything else, which you can pretty much have a look at in your own time. Important thing to mention, I did say before, don't use the parking position charts to taxi. It is quite helpful to read the parking position charts. For example, we'll have a look at Terminal 1, which is chart 10-9 Bravo. If we go here, find that there. It's important to read it purely because you can see there's these links here, and it will help you give a further overview. Particularly with Perth, you'll be given taxi via Charlie and via the Tango lane to Bay 152. And you can see the Tango lane smooths through here, whereas if we go back here, it just says Tango lane there with not much really other info other than it's somewhere within this area. Other than that, I hope this has helped you in reading a taxi chart. There's a lot of different taxi charts to read through. Majority of it does not apply to what I was trying to showcase today, like there's visual docking and low visibility taxi routes. They're very self-explanatory. They're a video in their own. I hope this has helped. If it has, please feel free to let me know. If you have any questions, please let me know and I'll be happy to go through them.